Helena, Arkansas in the building.
Hey, baby.
That boy Bankroll Freddy, man. Shout out on the sign. The sign is a QC, man. It's always good when the underground, the up and coming cities get their shine. So one love, man. This your boy Antoine, the source.
D-boy Fresh, the charming asshole.
Hey, it is.
This good shit. Man, Oak Cliff's own ambassador, man. My boy D. Kenny Reeves, man.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Man, thank you for pulling
The
up on me.
motherfucking ambassador, goddamn.
Man, you know, I ain't gonna lie, he repping all at such a younger age, a younger demographic that a lot of people feel like it's hopeless
Right.
So we gotta big that up, and I want to give that as insight. And then, so first of all, I just want to, walk us through that 24, 36 hour.
Which was cool to me.
Okay.
Because I didn't need that, pressure on me.
Yeah.
Right.
So I took the moment to watch the Mavericks and the Lakers. They had a badass game that night.
LeBron gave you one.
LeBron did. Then a couple of my ladies' bridesmaids came through, and they needed help doing shit. So I'm working.
Damn.
I'm working, doing programs, setting up tables. Chill out.
Right.
Shit. Have
That
your
perspective,
drink.
man.
Yeah. Yeah, motherfucker, if you're lucky, this your last one. So,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a bet in my motherfucking groomsman count.
Okay.
Will this nigga cry? $30 on it.
Who won, man?
So I didn't cry.
Okay.
So my best man won.
Okay.
But it was like, damn, I almost let it go.
And she come down, and it was just like, you know what I'm saying? And the power of her father giving her to me was like, damn. It was more like,
My shit was nervous. I was terrified.
Nah.
When I seen that shit, I was like,
man.
shit, it's real.
Yeah,
it's here.
It's a little feeling too. The whole room looking at you, nigga, like, are you on your shit?
Mhm.
Then I seen her, and she coming down. I'll be mushy. She looking beautiful as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, bro, it's really finna happen.
Yeah,
nigga,
man. You dreamed about this your whole life if you think about it.
Yeah, real
How my
real
wedding
talk.
gonna be, man?
Right.
I put the ring on her finger, shaking like a bitch.
Oh, nigga, I was shaking and sweating.
Boy,
Was you sweating?
don't drop it.
Was you sweating? I was sweating like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Hey, and I think each pastor tell you that this vein is the only vein in your finger that leads to your heart. They tell you, it's like they tell you that, like, hey, it's a reason why it's going on this finger.
Straight up.
And I looked at my pastor like, oh, like, why you telling me this now?
Yeah, bro.
Nah, my ex-wife's dad married us.
Damn.
He's a bishop.
So he gave her away and
he married.
Eye contact like a motherfucker.
Hey,
nigga.
I'm sweating.
What you nervous for, nigga?
I'm gonna let you finish, K. Reed, but I'm gonna let y'all know where my fucking.
Nah, I already know. My uncle married us, so I had, I had the winning team behind me.
Yeah.
But Ricky Mama front row, waterworks crying. My mama got the waterworks and shit. And I'm trying to hold together. I got a big cousin named Justin. He probably 400 pounds, but he in the back like, yeah, nigga, you finna cry. So he kind of kept me straight, you know what I'm saying? Like on some comedy shit. I can laugh a little bit.
Right, because you need that.
Right, need it like a bitch.
Man, so, we saw the reception and everything. Question.
What's up?
How did you end up emceeing your own wedding? Because that shit was so loud to me.
Yeah.
Nigga, that motherfucker was like a club.
He had that bitch turned.
I bet Kenny Reed got a bouncer outside.
It must have
checking niggas' ID.
It must have been no kids allowed.
It was no kids but the kids that was in the wedding.
Cause I was like, that nigga was
your little
profane
homie.
and everything.
Your little homie.
Yeah, straight up.
Man, how did that end up happening, man?
Drunk, So the biggest thing is this, bro. Once all the nerves and all the energy, the negative energy went away, niggas just relieved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And bro, I don't mean to be putting numbers out there, but that wedding expensive.
What?
Hey.
No, you gotta put the numbers.
Yeah.
Hey, Reed, you know what? And I will say this, and you'll probably, God forbid this happens, hypothetically.
Right.
If you were to get married again, I guarantee you would say, you know what? Especially if say you're marrying somebody who's been married,
Right.
before as well, and they spent $30,000-$40,000 on the wedding.
That.
I would be like, you know what? We gonna put that towards the crib.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do a little destination wedding.
Yeah. I pray I never do it again, but I would never spend this kind of money
When I look
one
back,
day.
When I look back, hey, I was just like, won't he do it?
Yeah, straight up.
Man, you ain't
Straight
lying.
up.
The weddings are expensive.
And that's why a nigga got drunk.
man.
We paid for this shit. We didn't
Get
made
my
it.
money's worth.
Funny story. When we got married in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? Everything up there, if you've been to Chicago, everything's segregated still, even though, so the guy that did it was Italian,
Mhm.
so he was real standoffish at first. So then when we got to the wedding portion of it, he had a Jewish what they call a bar mitzvah
Yeah,
in
bar
the
mitzvah.
other room.
Yeah.
So we didn't supposed to have an open cash bar at all. But the bar mitzvah people was so much of a prick, and they was Italian. These
Right.
people was Italian. They end up messing up the order.
Right.
So we was like, hey, man, I walked up to him like, hey, man, we got to open cash. You told us. He said, man, look, them motherfuckers over there done pissed me off so much. Y'all good. Hey, listen, because I was making sure, like, hey,
Right.
and you know what I'm saying? It was just a blessing, man. And I was just like, cool, you know what I'm
That's a
saying?
win.
Yeah.
100% win.
Free liquor is
You hit a
always.
lick.
You hit a real lick.
Yeah.
Liquor's a
and we
lot.
got fucked up and kicked it, and that was the relief part of it. 'Cause,
Absolutely.
you know, you have so many people there, and you know, my wife had more than me. I had about 25, 30 people at my wedding on my side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had about 130. Like,
Man.
I realized, like,
But it was in her hometown, though, because you're supposed to get married in the bride's hometown if y'all in different places, right?
Yeah.
Not supposed to, but they say if y'all was to.
yeah.
Well, my wife from Michigan. We got married in Dallas.
Hey, I commend you on that.
You
I
wasn't
tried.
going to Michigan,
Man.
Oh,
man.
hell no. It's cold in motherfucker.
I'm about to say, motherfuckers gonna be in Timberland boots.
yeah, fuck that.
Man, I wasn't want a Michigan where it looked like
Oh,
that.
hell no. It'd be cold in
Because, you know, them
motherfucker.
niggas up there be ice grilling.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Damn that.
right.
But
Have
nah.
you ever watched the Michigan Wolverines game in November?
Yeah.
Them motherfuckers be looking cold in the bitch.
Yeah, boy, like,
Michigan and Minnesota is a whole different type of cold.
Yeah,
damn that.
That's a tundra, man.
It's a different type of cold.
So other than that going on, man, everybody, what's been up with y'all boys, man? What's been going on in the
Man,
week,
you know
man?
me grinding. That's my first time in 2 weeks.
Yeah, man, this
had
nigga
a few
came in
parties
here,
last
you know,
year. I had to spend.
he
for
booked and busy.
homecoming. Hey man, I
Hey,
had
you got to get it. You
I
gotta
had
get it.
one nigga last week, man. Shout out to him because you know I know he was fucked up. But you know the motherfucker request a song and the
Camp
nigga
out.
damn near. You know MacBooks you can push your shit damn near all the way down.
Yeah.
He was like, play this song. I'm like, all right, man, I got you. He was like, this one. He said, I got you. Nigga was like, no, this one. And pushed my whole shit to drunk. I said, come on, man. But no, other than that, man, shit, I've been good, man. What about you?
Flip, you
man?
been quiet over there, man. What's been up with you, my boy?
I've
That
been
mother-
off all day, so.
Got the logo on the shirt.
Hey, Kenny, now you on the marriage side, so the only thing you do is watching sports and you know, running them events. So if you need some fantasy football picks,
Yeah.
and you know, Holly Flim, he got you.
I already know that about him. We talked about that last time. He the fantasy nigga.
How much money you done made off these niggas on
You gotta,
the
he gotta
TV
file a
screens this
tax return, goddamn it, this year. That's what he got to
Nigga Flim
do.
got fantasy,
better report that shit.
DraftKings. He got
week?
all
This
the
nigga be
shit.
making real bread on these niggas. Like,
I don't want to talk about that, bro.
Look at this nigga.
Oh, nigga must
Yeah,
have
you
a bad
damn
night.
right.
He must have a bad
that
night.
type of week, huh? That type of week.
Nah, he had a good. That's a good week, nigga talking.
No, the reason I said, man, because I ain't gonna lie, man, my nerves too bad. Cause I always said, man, when I got a couple homeboys that do the parlay and everything like that, and when they win, I'll be like, man, I should just take a step out there.
Don't
You
do
know
it.
what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Don't do it.
I just be too stressed out to put that much
I
goddamn
ain't
weight
no
on
gambler.
these goddamn.
Nigga, I'll never do it again. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was doing it about 2014, 2015 with some of my coworkers, bro. Slide down to the liquor store, go bring some shit back. So one day I won, bro. It was like $500.
Yeah.
So I leave work on lunch to go get my money, bro. So I come in, it look normal than a bitch. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to cash out. Damn near SWAT team come out the back.
Oh, shit.
So then they take me into a room with a bunch of other niggas just sitting back there. It's like, we all like, goddamn. It's just a whole sting, bro. Like, every nigga that played the parlay and won was in the back.
Was in the room with
yeah,
the
like this.
Just if you won, though.
Yeah.
They're like, I won.
Yeah.
Wait, so
Because a nigga, if you lose, you ain't coming to that motherfucker.
True.
Yeah.
I would be the laugh, but that shit had to be some funny shit watching
what
my
happened
motherfuckers
with
coming
that,
in
man?
his
I would have been like, I won.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do nothing
But what
wrong.
happened with that? Where did that go, man?
I mean, it was just like a catch and release. You know what I'm saying? It was more so on the liquor store. They was trying to see how many niggas they was really running this shit for.
Heart beating fast as hell,
Like a
man.
motherfucker, 'cause I was on lunch at work. So I was more concerned with like shit.
Nigga like them already got two occurrences. One more about it.
He can't even tell your boss that shit.
Yeah, no.
Why was you
Wait,
late?
though.
Yeah, that was a tough
I had a
one.
flat time.
Shit.
Man, damn, man. I ain't gonna lie. Niggas get arrested for the stupidest
Dumbest
shit.
shit, yeah.
Cause
Like
I
a
know I done
motherfucker.
got arrested for some dumb shit before, man. But it wasn't my fault though. Y'all know the story, but
Oh,
I
man.
say all that
that's
to
what
say,
niggas always say.
it wasn't
You
my
know
fault.
what? You're right, man, because I got arrested one time. Now, I ain't get arrested. I got a lot of tickets on some
I
bullshit.
ain't really got no
Man.
ticket.
At one point, I owed tolls about $7,000.
Shit.
At this
I don't
time, nigga.
Damn, nigga, you too?
Shit. My
Hey,
registration from 2015.
I know probably 30 motherfuckers who owe NTTA.
Man, I was like, man, they hit me with the balance, bro, because they hit you with a number so enormous you gotta call in.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
wait, hold up, bro. I
You
know I
can't
ain't
get
you-
registration or nothing. They block all that.
That ain't my car.
And then like, nigga,
That ain't me.
They block all
I
that
got a
shit.
new car.
nigga, I tried to get my car registered, nigga,
Shit.
2015, by the way. on the charge, I had to buy a whole new car to get out of that shit. But shit, I went to get my car registered. Lady and a friend was like, no, we can't let you go. You owe tolls. So I called NTTA, like, yeah, you owe about $4,000. Yeah, but my dad, his name is Ken Reeves too. Put some of that shit on that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So then I try to get it sorted out because I know they'll drop the late fees. So
Yeah.
Well, you're past the point where we try to make correspondence with you. We're not dropping any late fees. I'm like, cool, bitch. You're not getting shit from me.
Yeah, I go get a
Nigga
whole
would've
nother
got a
license
whole
plate.
new whip.
You get a
Whole
whole
new
nother
whip.
license plate on your
Yeah,
Black
yeah.
folks, we'll do shit just out of spite, nigga. Like,
Nigga,
I go and get more dick.
$60 turned into a whole another car.
Straight up.
I ain't gonna lie, man.
And speaking of black folks doing some crazy shit, man.
the chicken sandwich.
Oh my God.
I ain't gonna lie,
What
bro.
the fuck is in this chicken
Hey,
sandwich?
Hold on, hold on.
But
There's
hold
so
on.
many scenarios. Are y'all talking about the lady with the car and it just kind of...
Just
No,
overall, we
I'm
ain't no
talking
problem.
about the white man who went into Popeyes full of
And-
niggas
and
and
got
said
these
and
hands.
called niggas
You
niggas.
saw that?
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
as soon as he got outside the camera view,
Got his ass
Yeah.
whooped.
Hey, man, I ain't
Shit
gonna lie.
outta
I come in.
shout out to that.
That's how
Popeyes.
you do it. That's how you do it.
And they took his sandwich.
Yeah, that's what I heard. They took the sandwich.
That was the most fucked up
that's
shit.
fucked
That was some
up.
You got your ass whooped over the sandwich,
Hey,
then
they took his ass back to taking Jordans.
But that was some real gangster shit. If the white man
Real sandwich,
before the shit went left, he was in the underserved community talking shit. I was like, this nigga gotta have it. He gotta have it. You know what I'm saying?
Cause you can see a couple niggas looking at him like,
No,
okay, this motherfucker can't be stable. Let me chill right quick.
Yeah.
Black America did that great. The camera, they was like, well, maybe something wrong.
We ain't ruined the establishment. We waited till he got outside.
Everybody, hey, you saw that little beer? Like, all right, he not gonna come back this way.
Right.
We're gonna let him lead out.
And I guarantee all it took was some eye contact in there. Hey, nigga, you.
No, but really, I think what did it was
Just get
the
outside.
last group of niggas he disrespected. That first dude,
He
he was
was like, he
straight.
didn't want nothing.
He was like, get the fuck out of my way, nigga. All right, bet. Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself. Cause see, I'm already in here. When you went outside with the niggas who just got there and seen how long the line was,
They already
they
irritated.
pissed off.
They already pissed off, bro.
What you say?
And so, cause I was gonna say, you know, it was a nigga in there, hands trembling, man. I want this nigga to call me a nigga.
Please look at
Yeah.
But you ain't gotta call me no nigga. Just look my way.
You gotta
and say
think,
nigga.
niggas coming to that bitch with late car fees and
Yeah.
Man.
you know, late bills and shit, irritated bosses and shit.
Christmas
and I'm like,
coming.
nigga, I want this white man. I'm a last shot on this nigga from 17 years.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie.
Like-
Every time I see a video to where some racist person fuck with a kid or a woman or something, I look at my girl and I be like, why won't that happen to me?
Right, where the fuck do I be when this type of shit
You're
take
right. It
place?
happened to me.
Exactly.
And I ain't just no violent motherfucker who look for violence, but
I
just
want to get tried.
Yeah, they ain't
I
gonna
ain't
try
gonna
you.
lie.
try me.
Cause I was in when I told y'all when I went to the movies after the Trump rally about 3 weeks ago.
Damn, they'll stay on Travis.
we was walking through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And see them red hats. Them shits it's like popping all over the place. Just red hat, just red, white, and blue all over the motherfucker.
That shit is like a.
I'm hating America
KKK
looking at this
hat
shit
on.
right now
Yeah.
because these niggas so patriotic. They make you hate your own shit. Like, fuck America, nigga.
And then like you told us, there was more of us out there than you thought of.
But
Did you say it was a
when
lot of
I
black
went
folks
at
out
this
there?
time, boy, it was all white
It was all white.
I was
motherfuckers.
about to
They
say.
sitting there partaking in drinks without a care in the world. And I'm just looking.
Oh, they'll
I'm
try
waiting
you
on
then.
one of these motherfuckers to
They'll
lock
try
eyes.
you then.
Yeah.
I just want a nigga to lock eyes wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Stare at you and stop talking.
They be bold in the motherfucker around their
Oh, yeah.
friends.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I
Around their
wanted
friends,
them.
they bold as
Yeah.
shit.
I guess they was like that nigga. You know.
But you touch one of them in their chin, all the rest of them gonna sit back and look.
The nigga
Call
look-
the cops.
He look like he got some moves on him though. I don't think no motherfucker gonna try him.
Nigga, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I felt like it would have been a goddamn strength they came out of me from the shit these niggas have put us through for 3 years.
That's been 400
I would
years
have had
of
a
shit.
strength of 5,000 men.
400
man.
years of strength, nigga.
But think about this, that motherfucker might win again.
Why y'all playing?
While we
That
bullshit, he
motherfucker
might
might
win
win
again.
Bro,
But no, he is Trump is going to do everything in his power to win again because he know if he don't, his ass going to jail.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he can't get locked up while he president.
Right.
If his ass don't get elected again,
Right.
now his ass
I ain't gonna lie,
showing
man.
up
Something I
taxes.
noticed, and I'd have been noticing, but this week, I'm like, them motherfuckers can flip some shit so goddamn
Oh, yeah.
effortlessly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga Donald Trump Jr., Lil Jr., then went on the goddamn View.
Did he?
Oh, he was on the View?
He was on the View.
That's
Wow.
shit.
You saw that shit?
Yeah.
He was on
And the
daytime
nigga was like,
TV?
they was like, you heard America, your character, your family's character. How do you feel? He was like, we've all done something that we're not proud of. Da da da. You went blackface. So that,
Yeah.
he flipped the shit on her.
Oh, who?
What's the lady name?
I
The white
think the
lady,
name like
the older white
Megan
lady.
something.
Barbara Walters was there?
No, the older white lady on the View. What's the older white lady on the View? That look like Bette Miller, but she.
I know
not
you're
Bette.
talking about. Yeah.
So she.
Talking about
went-
what's her name's a wife?
No, this the older lady, and so
Osborne.
no, you talking about McCain?
Okay.
No.
Joy. Joy.
Yeah, Joy something, but the View. I gotta get her name right, man.
But she don't listen to the show. Fuck her.
Yeah.
No, cause I hate Joy Behar. Joy
Joy
Behar.
Behar.
So
Okay.
pretty much, she went as she said a beautiful African woman, but she didn't paint her face or nothing. She just had like her natural hair, like she just had the regalia on.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga flipped the shit, and he got her questioning whether she did it. She like this.
Right.
Like,
Damn.
because
Like, motherfucker, you ain't interviewing me,
he
I'm
put the
interviewing
shit
you.
in so smooth. He was like, and Whoopi, you were on stage with Ted, and wait, Whoopi, like, wait one goddamn minute.
Yeah, I know shit ain't go for
Whoopi
the
light
shit.
his ass. So yeah, I'm about to say Whoopi went for the shit.
But I'm like, God damn, this nigga really he got hugged. They audience clapping for this nigga. I'm like, man, these motherfuckers.
Hey, man.
goddamn,
It's a deterrence, man. That's what they do. They gonna reflect.
They
that shit.
petty, bro.
Yeah, they gonna do some other
And they
shit.
gonna have you sitting there going outside yourself to defend some shit. Because that's what they doing. They're giving so many strong feelings to the candidates that's going against them
Right.
that they starting to focus on little small shit and not pushing their actual agenda.
But
Why
that's
you
how
think? Why you think Trump always doing random like every so often he'll just say or just do some outlandish shit,
Right.
and then we all get in an uproar over just some half-ass racist type shit, but we lose focus on what what the fuck is really going on. So yes, them motherfuckers is gonna disguise this shit. I forgot what my barber said, man. It's gonna come to me again. That nigga used it's gonna come to me.
Every time Trump get into some real trouble, he'll distract the whole culture with some other shit and talk about some bullshit and get everybody going on that same topic. That motherfucker's a troll, bro.
No, that's
Oh,
what,
yeah,
and,
hell yeah,
like,
he a
and
troll.
that's the problem,
This
man.
nigga
That's why
stay on
I stopped
Twitter.
giving them attention to because
Yeah.
motherfuckers will let him ruin their mood, man,
Yeah.
to the point like over some small shit.
Yep.
And it's like we keep yelling out on the small
I'm
bullshit,
happy y'all.
man.
I'm
Hey, I
happy
used to
y'all
be that person.
level.
I ain't gonna lie. I used to be that motherfucker.
I'm happy that y'all to that level.
No, and so like if we keep focusing on the bullshit, man, we'll never
Right.
really assess the real issues.
Right.
Like we'll land this man, we still talking about this nigga tax returns. I'm like, bruh, y'all niggas focus on tax returns. He already over here focused on other bullshit. It's like, bro, we've been talking about tax returns for 3 years, man.
But shit, what is Trump's policy? If
We
just
don't
keep-
know.
We don't
We
even
don't
know
know.
it,
Because
bro.
we don't
know
even force his hand on pushing that
Right.
because we focus on these little bullshit ass narratives he'll put out, and this nigga just skating.
But most
by.
of his policies that got him elected, he lied on them, like the coal
Right.
mines and all that shit. That
Man,
motherfucker lied to them.
like real talk, most of his policy was already implemented. For example, we gonna build a wall.
Right.
It was already a bill passed to just upgrade a fucking wall. Like that's all it was. It was just like, hey, we need some upgrades to this, this little wall. He was
Mhm.
like, he made it bigger than what it was. Like, oh, we're gonna build a wall to keep people out. That was his whole campaign.
No, we're gonna build a wall to keep Mexicans out.
See, that's what it is. The nigga ran a
Shit.
campaign on hate.
on hate.
On
yeah,
hate.
man.
And he really divided this country. I mean, it's always been
He
divided.
had people that were so
But
mad
it's
at
really
Obama
divided.
being
Nah,
president.
y'all
it-
kind of forgetting how that all started though, because it wasn't Trump who
It was Obama.
started all of that. It was they had that Tea Party movement,
Mhm.
and that brought up a whole lot of
true.
just that was kind of like trying to fit their own kind of scenario on
Yeah.
some racist ass shit
Right,
over
right,
and
right.
over and over again. And that just brought an undercurrent, and he saw that shit, and he just rode the wave, rode that shit all the way to the
That's
middle.
what-
you ain't
that Tea
lying,
Party
right.
shit,
He used that shit. He
and
did.
that outright shit came out about the same time,
Yep.
and that shit don't mean nothing but alternative Klan. That's
Yeah.
that's
That's it.
They
essentially
just
what it is.
rebranded.
You
White
heard Richard
nationalists.
Spencer, you know,
Yeah.
they had the audio on Richard Spencer, man. Like, it was the amount of hate that was in his rhetoric. It's like it was a passionate hate.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you can see that this is the leader of a nationalist brand, but the thing is, it's really built on hate of another of other cultures, and pretty much of minorities. And it's like, it's no different, like you said, than the Klan. It's no different. It's
Nah,
like,
yeah,
it's just
the Klan.
basically a new alternative method.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
that's why I feel like a lot of people, we are allowing ourselves to get so much hate in ourselves and divisive on issues. And at the end of the day, nothing is really getting accomplished because we so divided. It's like we've regressed when
We
it
have.
came to relations.
I mean, we're divided with them, and we divided with each other too. So shit, we fighting two battles.
Not
to be
only
honest
that,
with you.
fighting against them, fighting within ourselves,
Yeah.
and shit from the left. We don't even know who the front runner is right now.
Right.
And let me
Yeah,
add
that's
this,
real
and
talk.
and listen, don't hit me hard on this, please don't.
You finna say some shit.
You about to say
Man,
Kanye running for 2020?
we fighting with New Africa, and I mean this. listen, and I mean this in a way,
I
New
wanna-
Africa,
Okay, talk to me.
because we look at Botham Jean case, and
Okay.
we chastise them, but you gotta look, they don't have no history of slavery, American slavery. It's all about Christianity and how it was taught to them.
So you talking
with-
about like the alternative?
Yeah,
like
like
the
you got to look at
Africans and
like
the
Kenny.
Haitians.
We may be the last group to remember our ancestors that was slavery, because what's happening is that, let's paint a picture.
All right.
Obama was the first black president, right?
Right.
But he is the descendant of a Kenyan African and a pure white American from Kansas.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody I've been seeing coming, like I was at the fair, I saw a group of black men, young black men, about 6 of them. Nikes, joggers, wasn't speaking American slang black. They were speaking their culture. You
So
know what I'm
talking
saying?
about African culture.
African culture.
Okay.
So when you see the new America that's coming, it's like, yeah, we fucked up bringing them in, and that's it. Even African admit we fucked up. Oh yeah, we fucked up. We sold our souls for a little bit of money, and it fucked us up. They like, we gonna replace this. Now we gonna bring our people over here, intelligent enough because of the benefits of America. They have seen the
I don't think
strategy.
they're still gonna make it a new America. I mean, 'cause
It is
Gotta
New America.
follow you.
In New America, because that's how they're gonna erase slavery.
So I'm gonna say this real quick. I don't think we can ever erase slavery
that'll never be
as long
erased,
as
bro.
niggas like me, you, and everybody in this room
How
is
long-
living. We gotta have kids.
We
We
got-
gotta pass that knowledge down to our
But they're gonna be
children.
like, but they're gonna be in diversity, and there's gonna be so many mixed things. But Dad, I don't feel the way you feel.
No,
How we gonna keep?
I'm not gonna lie. I have been seeing a watered down aspect with like my younger family members.
Yeah, they don't
It's like-
feel it, man.
Like my brother used to get mad at my aunts and my mom and them when they say, "You better not bring no white." What's wrong with a white chick?
Yeah.
Right.
Y'all racist, and I'm like,
But Source, think about when we were younger.
no,
We wasn't really on no like.
no. But at the end of the day,
I mean, we
but I was
just
still
wanna
like,
do
I
young shit.
understood.
I understood. I ain't man.
I
We
understood.
understood,
So, I'm
but it
gonna
took
wasn't
us to get older.
I wasn't trying to stand on the ground if I can have a white woman if I want to. When
Yeah.
they said it,
You
Yeah.
wouldn't do that. I think to both points. The kids are more liberal than what we were.
Right.
But at the same time, those kids that are liberal grow up and develop new thoughts and new ideas.
Right.
So the people who have racist grandfather or racist great grandfather, that shit don't come out of nowhere.
right.
So as kids, shit is real pure, but
Right.
that's a learned behavior.
exactly.
They gonna learn it from somewhere.
Exactly.
And with
100.
us, I wasn't on the fuck the white man train. I never really
I
been
was never on that
like
shit
that. But I grew up in a high school, 99% black. I went to school with one white boy, my whole life, one.
How he acted.
And he had hands, didn't he?
No, he was white boy Joe. He was a nigga.
That's all I need to
And
know.
the crazy thing about it,
Yeah,
hands,
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
you
had
say
to.
that. I remember
You
fourth
had to.
grade. I was like, it wasn't like I was just like, we was around so many black people, and I always had this feeling. I was like, man, I want to make me a white. I want to make me a white friend. I don't know why I felt that. I was fourth grade, and my homeboy Chris Patterson. Let me just fast forward. Nigga got 4 baby mamas that's black. That's 4 he got 4 baby mamas that's black. I
see,
bullshit you not, man.
That's his experience.
But I think it's like, okay, like
That's a
I was
hell of an
born in West
experience.
Texas, moved to Louisville in the late 80s, predominantly all white
right.
in Louisville. Like then moved to South Central LA when I was 11.
Different experience.
Totally, when I tell you totally different. For
Right.
2 years, then moved back. So I done seen both sides of the predominantly white,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, predominantly black school. And I didn't get, and I'm not saying I'm pro-black, but I didn't get to where I was until I got a little bit older.
That was
So when
my
I was
experience.
younger, it was like, okay, you know, I know that's prejudice. My mom used to
I was
always say.
passive with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So but the
Exactly.
thing is, bro, for like a person like me, I was fostered in a neighborhood where it's all black. Fostered in school where I got black teachers, black principals, black administrators, and black students around me. I knew racism existed, and I had a grandfather and a father that told me about their experiences. But bro, I went to college.
Yeah.
I chose to go to North Texas because I've been around niggas my whole life. I
Right.
need to experience
Right.
other
culture.
things.
Right.
And that's why I was getting in elementary. I felt that I was around so many black people and felt that I like you can get around black people and still feel small. Let's be honest. Like you can't your personality. You know what I'm saying? So Kenny, how you looked at it at that level?
Mm-hmm.
I looked at it from a lower level in elementary where I think I shouldn't have. Like some people probably like it was just like I saw these white kids and I was like, I want to be around these white kids to influence them on what black culture is. That I didn't want to be
You weren't
white.
thinking that in 4th grade.
Yes, I
Yeah.
was.
Fourth grade?
Yes, I was. Nigga, I had a fade. I had a band 2 fade. I had the relaxer shit with a part, nigga.
Yeah,
I had
the
some Jordans with a windsuit outfit. Nigga, I was about
You
the
wanted
culture,
them to know the
nigga.
coolness of
Nigga,
a
94.
black kid.
Nigga,
Like, walked in there, they
94.
said, gang
Nigga,
member.
I was 94 all day, nigga. Like, shit. It was just, I wanted them to see us. But, however, Kenny, you talk about Oak Cliff.
Okay.
And you talk, like, I guess when you saying you was around all black, like being around that, like, how did it, like, build you? Because being in a full black community striving, like, I never saw that. And I hear about Oak Cliff because I'm from
Right.
Arkansas. Like how did it make you feel? You said, I want to be around niggas, but I know that that's not a negative way. But
No, I mean it's a beautiful experience. If you see people around you that's thriving, that look like you, that's built like you, of course you're gonna gain some of that influence. I went to North Texas on my own merit, and when I got there, I did experience different shit, bro. I pledged, I joined a fraternity, and then one day we went to a party in Fort Worth, and that was at Texas Motor Speedway. And I don't know if is it state troopers or if it was the Fort Worth Police Department. But we got pulled over as soon as we left the party, and the dude, sure as I can remember, what's going on with all the purple shirts? You guys in the goddamn gang?
Oh,
First experience, bro, where I was like, I might not make it up out of here.
Yeah.
And then I got a partner from Houston, Matt from Southwest Houston, at
Okay.
that, popping out, what the fuck you mean, gang? Hey, man, shut up.
Yeah, right.
Cause it's-
Yeah.
Because this big burly white man not playing with us, bro. He
Yeah.
got his gun
He-
drawn.
and he's already scared of y'all.
He's scared of us.
it's because it's
Wow.
probably 4 or 5 of y'all.
It was 6 of us in the car.
Yeah, man.
in a good lunch.
He's already scared.
He can't see everybody's
and
hands.
Mitsubishi
Absolutely.
got
He can't see
everybody.
everybody's hands and shit,
Yeah.
man. You already know how that go, man.
Scared.
And then from there, I started experiencing it more and more. Go to a Waffle House, and then it's a guy. I don't like niggers. Okay, do you like ass
Oh, then-
whoopings?
yeah,
'Cause
then-
I will beat your ass. in here.
Right.
Quit,
Yeah.
quit playing with
Yeah.
me.
Denton County's a motherfucker.
Like I had the experience. So, like, luckily, I was exposed to going to school with white people early in my life because I feel like it's easier for you to not go in with that closed mindedness because
I agree.
you know, because my brothers had the same experience you did. They grew up in Yellowstone in Houston, went to Yates, and then ended up going to OU.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
that's
they
a
went,
different experience.
they went from Cullen to Yates to OU.
Yeah,
Nigga.
Completely
Tell
different
you, nigga,
experience.
think Louisville,
South
65th and Normandy.
Yeah.
Rolling 60.
Like it's
Yeah.
so
And
it's
I'm
so
11 years old.
I grew up in South Park
Yeah.
in Houston, predominantly blacks neighborhood. But elementary I went to a black school, 6th grade, all the way through high school I went to predominantly white schools. I ended up going to West Point, which is like 2% black.
that's a different experience.
Man.
Different experience, and it's a different type of white experience.
Yeah, it is military focused experience.
It's so I had homeboys though that came in and recruited with me I had a homeboy from Lake City, Florida. Shout out to my boy Ion. That nigga grew up like Florida, and especially in Polk County, Florida, is very segregated.
Yeah.
Those small towns, like you live amongst black people, you know. And so he came there, and the idea that people were talking at him with especially, you know how the military is, you know, they talk at you, they talk down to you.
Yeah.
That was the hardest thing for him. Like he had such an anger and a chip on his shoulder because of the background of how it was, you know, the redneck central where he came from. People talked at you, and it brought something out of you. And so his experience was different than my experience. I'm like, I know these motherfuckers playing a role. You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't tell you that. It better stay within the military confines, nigga. If you call me out my name, it's gonna be another issue.
Right.
But he just didn't like the avenue of, because it wasn't like every military person or every upperclassman was just a white person. It was black, Hispanic, Asian. So it's like,
But that white authority
that
figure.
white authority figure was
Right.
the one that he just couldn't rock with.
I can relate to that.
And so, yeah.
I had a coach, a DB coach at Carter High School, Billy Blurton. Cool ass white boy, bro. One day, I was shooting dice in the locker room. I should have got at this time, we was getting paddling in school.
Man.
And I
got a story for that.
Again, I told you, bro, I grew up all black experience. I've been paddled by coaches. I've been paddled by teachers.
Yeah.
But this is my white DB coach
Yeah.
now paddling me.
Yeah, that
For
shit
whatever
hit different.
reason, this was different for me. Because it's a white man with a paddle.
It hit low.
You feeling like Coulter right now. You
It was
feeling
a
like
trigger.
Coulter right
It was
now.
a trigger.
It was different. And that might have been another one of them first times where I was just like, I'm not cool.
Yeah, I'm not cool.
I'm
I
not
ain't taking
cool with
this.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how did that
That's real
go? Like you just had to deal with it? Or?
I mean, because again, bro, I'm going to say, like, you was talking about military experience. I never been in the service. But I know that shit is similar to, like, football practice on steroids. Type shit.
Right.
So, in a similar
Yeah.
experience where, military is about the service, about the branch that you serve, I was like, shit, it's about the team. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I did some shit outside the confines of this football team.
So I gotta take my L.
I'm going to
Gotta
take
take
this
it. Yeah.
discipline. It
Yeah.
just felt. That
It
was
felt
like,
different.
It just felt
Yeah,
different coming
bro.
from a white guy.
That's why people never understand that experience, man. It's like, cause Flum, you went to a PWI and a HBCU, right? So like, what was your experience like when you going to the? Because I remember you was making a joke about how when you got to the HBCU, it's like I felt at home,
Yeah,
nigga.
you know niggas. Like,
Yeah.
have your high school at this school. Shit.
Yeah.
Nigga, I just walked outside. It's like, shit, nigga, you want
What's
some
up,
blood?
nigga? Get in.
Nigga about the barbecue. You know what I'm saying?
It was a barbecue and some weed. But I do want to say this, and this is something that I think why we divided. We talk about racism, and then you talk about like why all black people ain't on board about, like, sometimes you feel why all black people ain't on board about this racism shit. Examples is my state, and I really let me say this though. Let me say this in a careful way. Southeastern part of the state of Arkansas, man, we don't like, all of what y'all. I'm gonna give you just a sample. How we say like police need to police their own neighborhoods.
Yeah.
We have that in
I
Arkansas.
totally agree with
like
that.
we have that. Like we'll know that Willie D down the street. You know what I'm saying? Been drinking. They done picked him up. Oh, he just gonna be in the detox. He'll be out in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
seriously.
You mean persons from that community police their own community?
Yes.
All right.
And it's crazy because me and my wife been talking. You know how the KKK and racism infiltrate? They start in those systems. They be like, hey, we go be a public servant in the law enforcement. Go be a judge.
Absolutely.
And then you know what I'm saying? And when we
The power of the pen.
the
Now you got the
intangible
power of the
part of
pen.
it, the intangible part of it, we see racism, but we can't point it out because they I'm not part of the KKK,
Right.
but you influence by that. Like they tell us, oh, you influenced by rap culture. You influenced
That's even
by the
by-
KKK.
that's even by
You not
buying property.
like we
Right.
see. You may not be at that meeting. Kind of like, all right, you ain't a Crip, but we know what neighborhood.
But
man.
you affiliated.
You affiliated.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's crazy, but and like back in the Arkansas, man, it was the socialism matters, like social class matters, man. It was so much, the state so goddamn poor that shit, it happened to what shit, it was white people, shit, you can't be racist, nigga, you sitting there right with me.
I mean, and going back to affiliation, I think Crooked crooked. You know, all cops ain't crooked. I don't believe that. Even white.
I don't
cops.
think
But
that
that
either.
blue line,
But-
them niggas stay.
But hey, I think they.
Antoine,
But I think they got a. I
you
think they
took
got
the
a
word.
game that they're officiating with. They gonna
You
trust
ain't gotta
their
be the
own.
one
It's a
doing
game.
crooked shit, but if you in that force and you know motherfuckers is doing crooked shit and you ain't saying shit,
You a part of
you
the
just
problem.
as fucking guilty.
Did y'all see American Son?
I just
haven't
watched that
seen it
shit
yet.
Oh, hold on, not yet.
I haven't
No,
seen
not
it
yet.
yet.
It's good, bro.
Yeah,
so,
I ain't seen it
So the
yet.
thing is, the
It gave
reason,
me anxiety.
some people didn't like it, some people did. I think some people didn't like the fact he was shot in one place, but it was so
Damn, you
dialogue
spoiling
driven.
the goddamn
No,
thing.
I mean, bro, that's not
I'm not
a
telling you
spoiler.
anything. It's not a
Okay.
spoiler.
It's
You said the nigga got shot.
it's a
just 'cause
one act
it's so
play.
dialogue. It's so dialogue driven that's what's gonna get you, and it shows you about the black experience not being monolithic, honestly, and a lot of people on the outside don't understand that.
Right.
It's like you can't paint us all as one piece, but the thing is, at the end of the day, we're still shown by our skin. So
Right.
I feel like a lot of times people from privileged backgrounds that grew up in more white central communities, they had this like optimism sometimes that is checked by reality when they are outside of their cocoon.
Right. And that's for black people growing up in white environments and niggas growing up in all black
Yeah,
environments.
right.
Mhm.
I mean, at some point we're gonna experience some shit that's not comfortable
Right.
for us as it relates to race.
Right.
So Kenny, let's fast forward 40 years from now, and it's Godspeed that we all there. We in Oak Cliff, and I see what you like. Last conversation that we had, you was talking about the gentrification
Yeah.
of Oak Cliff, and your passion right now. Like we gotta make it where you see Oak Cliff,
Right.
man. You walk out and everybody mix.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about 40 years from now, everybody mix.
Right.
And you out here and you talking about my people of slavery and this and this.
When you say mix, you mean like mixed race?
Yeah.
Mixed race.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You got mixed race.
Oh, I thought you meant everybody was represented, but
No,
mixed
no.
race children.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like
Okay.
40 years, because it's happening. Like it's
Right, that's-
happening now.
yeah.
40 years from now. We speaking about race. I don't feel it ain't gonna be as important to the generations after us. I don't, because they not gonna
Well,
feel that passion.
see, I
They not gonna see that.
I slightly
that's a-
disagree.
No, honestly, I'm gonna
And-
tell you what I think is gonna actually be because if you think about it, the younger generations that's coming behind us are way more outspoken than we were. When it
Way
come-
more.
So I think
And
at the end of the
exposed to
day,
more, too.
because they, they did a walkout in a black school in Houston last year. Like
Yeah.
I feel because they see it, they see so much more of it.
Right.
Because you got to think,
Right.
when we were growing up, we didn't see a
We
guy
didn't
getting
see
beat
it.
by the cops
Absolutely.
These kids,
monthly.
these
Rodney
kids,
King was the only thing we seen was Rodney
King was
King.
our
We
own
didn't-
shit.
We didn't see that. We weren't scared of the police like they are now because they actually see it on what a police can do. Like,
Absolutely.
so it's like as the more exposure you get to it, even if you in the suburb,
Yeah.
you can't run from Twitter. You
can't,
can't
yeah.
run from the
It's
internet.
the information era.
So you still start seeing people that look like you. So you start to share that experience. Perfect example, All American.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all watch
yeah,
the show All
the
American.
show,
I've seen
KD.
season 1.
You ever notice like the black kids from Beverly Hills love to slum down to Crenshaw and they
Yeah.
kick it there and his girlfriend's getting comfortable there.
But that's always been the thing. Like, growing up in Louisville, motherfuckers used to always want, let's go to West Dallas.
Right.
Let's go do this. I'm like, man, y'all
Exactly.
motherfuckers don't want to go do
so
that.
they're growing up in hip hop culture.
Right.
So at the
It's
end of
the
the day,
culture.
you follow the hip
follow
hop
that
narrative.
culture.
And so when you following the hip hop narrative, you're following black culture, even if you are in a white neighborhood. You're still enthralled with the black culture. And so you're seeing it. And so now you don't go. I feel like it puts some context in some things because it's like, man, we've had experiences where we've had black medical students shot by the police.
Right.
Yep.
You know, we've had experiences where we've had educated professors searched by the police.
Shit, Botham
John was Pricewater High,
Exactly.
man. He was, man.
Man,
And yeah, so that's why I'm saying it's like I think it's starting to be an awakening more because you still have you gonna have kids who want to get with other races and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're still gonna be able to compartmentalize the fact that it's still the systematic issues that are enthralled because you see cops getting off so easily. You see slaps on the wrist.
I also think that the information that we have available to us today is gonna be documented. It's gonna be archived.
Right.
So in the same way we wasn't able to be in touch with our history as much Because the history books, I was a history minor in college. They don't teach you this shit. They don't.
Oh, hell no.
I saw Emmett Till outside of the history books.
Kenny, you said something. I question, you know what I'm saying? You and I question, why the fuck would we, like now you look at it as it was white history, but why the fuck were we just learning about how they came into America and how they created the Constitution, and it wasn't no black people. And this standard history from 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade.
So it's a glorified version of history. It's the history they wanted to tell you.
You go to the Dallas Museum right now.
They took slavery out of history.
It's not no African American. It's not no African American section. It's just African. It's like African, and then when you go to the American section, it's like the Victorian age.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But
I feel that we need to be there.
That same point that you're making is the point I can make 40 years from now, is when they see that exclusion of people that look like them, and they see the shit that took place during the time that we was alive and we was young. That'll get in the kids' mind, and that'll make them, it influence them one way or the other, bro.
Right.
And
I hope so.
I think it will. I think that in time we'll progress. I do think that we're in the shit stain of racial tension right now.
It's
Right
bad
on.
right now.
Yeah.
It's real bad right now.
That's a nice analogy when you put it that way, because that's what it seems like. Because of, you know, how shit stain, you try to clean it up, but it still has that stench.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
How many
like,
times you sat on the toilet and you kept wiping your ass, you keep wiping it, you're like, God damn, I keep seeing shit on it. What the fuck is going on?
You gotta squat
That's
a little
where we
more.
at right now.
Yeah,
That's
it's
where
like
we
that.
at right
It's
now.
You need to squat a little
You
more.
gotta keep flushing
wipe
so
a
you
little
won't
more.
stop your toilet up. Like
we have a moment where we come together, solidarity. We have it's good time in the culture. We're in a good mood, and then boom, something happened.
Some bullshit out there.
We on a high, boom. Oh, Nipsey gone.
Right.
We get something on a high. Botham John.
Right.
It's
That was
like,
lit.
God damn. It's like, and you start becoming, and what scares me is you start becoming numb to it.
Yeah.
When you see somebody get
get
shot by a cop, and you like,
And then 3 days
Yeah,
later, we're
again.
not even talking about
But
it.
exactly.
And that's the bad
What-
part of
the
it.
young woman in Fort Worth
Yeah.
got
Yo.
killed
Oh man,
a week after
Man.
the whole Botham John shit.
a week after, bro.
And that shit was just defeating to even see that, because it's like, oh, is this motherfucker finna get off too?
And that's the first thing we
but you
say.
know what?
Damn, they gonna get off.
But you know what?
And that's sad.
Like we can. This is an isolated incident. How we gotta isolate that. You know, the lady that killed Botham John, because the city of Fort Worth admitted the wrongdoing from the process perspective. They came out and they said, hey, they made it an escalated issue.
They alienated themselves from that cop.
Hey,
That's what it was.
exactly.
because
That's
They
the
Antoine.
way to put it.
They, knew
they
he
didn't
dropped
want
the ball.
that. They didn't want that same shit
Well,
that Dallas just went through for the
But
past.
like 30
years.
miles down the block.
Man.
I mean, at least that's something though, because normally they stick by
Yeah,
the cops.
right.
So, you know.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think because of the situation that it was so hot,
That was in Dallas. Yeah, they
like
didn't
the
want
fact that it was so hot with the Botham Gin,
Exactly.
like they were like, man, you know
Yeah.
what?
But you know what?
We can't even justify
can't.
that shit.
Hey,
That-
real
'cause
talk.
he had no reason to shoot us, so it's like
the
we're
mayor
not
made
even-
a statement.
We're
the
not even
next
about to say,
day.
you know how they normally come out and say, you know, he'll be on paid
administrative leave.
you know,
They
they
was
were like, no,
hell no.
we can't even justify.
But let me
it.
ask you this: in that cop's mind, what do you think influenced him to do that?
And that's why I was getting to.
I
do
think
you think
fear.
Do you
Fear.
think? Do you
Fear.
think
But
white
that he
people?
sees from the experience that because
Fear.
outside looking in on the black experience, you feel like that's why I always say what the media portrays is so key.
Do you think it's?
Because if you have people portraying like black girls, like the black girl that was manhandled by the cop,
in McKinney.
Oh man.
if you see black girls on Twitter and stuff fighting, that's that's an outlier experience.
Yeah.
That's not the normal black experience, but they are focused on that. Oh,
Yeah.
they are feisty, they are
And I
violent.
hate when
they
we
are,
post
that's-
shit like that.
And that's
As-
why
as a
it
people, I hate when
really
we
hurts
post that shit.
that's why you really hurt your own experience
Exactly.
when we flash that, because
Exactly.
all we doing is showing our kids in the light that they are violent.
Right.
And so the thing is that when the outsides look in, that gives them. It's like when we always try to prove a point that we feel like about, you gonna focus on what actually stamps your opinion. You know what I mean?
I'm
So,
gonna interject real quick. I'm sorry,
Go
bro.
ahead. Go ahead.
So in the same way, yeah, these images, they don't look good for the culture. And we just talked about slightly like one person's experience shouldn't speak, or like you said, monolithic,
True.
that's the term.
It shouldn't.
True.
So when a white kid is fighting on Instagram, he's fighting his teacher in the classroom, they can look at him and say, that guy's a shithead.
Yeah.
White privilege.
But
White
you look
privilege.
at this black girl, maybe she is in a fight.
Yeah.
The same way That Billy was in a fight last week.
Yeah.
But now all black women are violent and dangerous.
Yeah.
Man,
That's the issue.
So when
That's
that
the
cop
issue.
pulled up to that house, that was in the back of his mind. Oh, if she gonna shoot me, she got it. Well, he probably didn't even think it was a woman that he couldn't have known that it was a woman. He looking through a window. Only thing he seen was a black figure.
Right.
As soon as he said, "Put your hands up," pow.
So if we see a little, emo ass white boy with bangs, we supposed to think school shooter, right? That's how the portrayal is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's
Like,
just how people think, though. People normally think. They only think about how they reinforce their own thoughts already. They not trying to form new thoughts. They just trying to form an experience that's going to validate the thoughts they already had.
And your point is good, too, because every time I was at the airport back in the early 2000s, as soon as I seen, after 9/11, as soon as you seen the turban, we was all on some like, oh, shit.
I ain't gonna lie, black people, we
I
have
mean, we
our
was
moments,
all on that shit.
but at the end of the day, that's why I know it's human
Right.
nature.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
the thing is, you have to add context, and we just have to be smart as individuals, bro. I'm like, we not dumb individuals. I guess I give people more credit than I'm supposed to.
All I want
Like, you
to
supposed
say
to be
is,
able to contextualize.
we said all this, and one thing that get me, and it's crazy because I talked this with my wife. We ain't addressed that. Could it be a mental illness with white people and why they think black people
I ain't
are
giving
like
them that out. Fuck that.
No. You have
Nah.
like no. You
Nigga,
have
that's
to
hate.
because
Fuck
if
that.
you look at somebody, like look at it. If you just look at somebody's color and think it's something wrong with them, or you think that just because they're black,
That shit is taught,
like,
man. You're
no,
not born with that.
It's a learned
But
behavior.
Racism
it's
is
a
taught.
learned behavior.
That
shit is taught.
It's a learned behavior to whoop your child. You don't think after so long that
That's
shit
totally
can be
different.
mental?
That's
Come
totally
on,
different.
man.
When I whoop my
You
child,
can
I don't
be-
hate it. Racism is hate.
Like your brain is a CPU. It's a computer. It's an operating system.
So let me
You
follow
still have emotions, nigga.
I want to follow this train of thought real quick. So are you saying it's a learned behavior, but after it's learned, now it's somehow secreted into your mind to where it's logical that this is a thought process?
Yeah,
Kenny,
like you
Kenny.
think
When I was growing up in Louisville, we played with a lot of white boys. 40, 30, probably 30% of them white boys that we all grew up, played football, we get cool as shit.
Right.
Probably 20% of them now,
Yeah.
these motherfuckers is Confederate flags and,
Right.
but when we was kids,
Everything was cool. That's
You
what
hear
I'm
about-
trying to tell you.
we
you
were
hear about
kids.
molestation,
We were
and you like,
kids.
well, I was molested. I was
that's
molested.
totally different, bro.
Man,
That's,
How's that
Man,
different?
come on.
It was taught. It was
totally
So
learned.
all right, so let me say this. So say that is a learned behavior, right? So say that we grew up as kids and we was cool, and then you grow up to be a Confederate like that. That's not the same as molestation because that was done to you. That's something that took place. If as a black man and a white man, if I've never physically or mentally or verbally done anything to you and you hate me, that's something that was taught on your
that
side.
was taught to you.
Hold on. When you say, let's say, all right, what's that? Like molestation is a tangible thing that happens to you,
Right.
but the effects of it is still intangible.
I get you.
Teaching somebody something that's teaching somebody to hate still can have the same effect of intangible. Like, what I'm saying is, like, for example, you training this person. Think about the military. They train you to be a certain way, to hate something. Like, we are the great people of America, and they are the enemies. And it's people that take that by heart, and it can become a mental illness because
I see where you're going. It can become ingrained.
like
get that.
ingrained.
It's
That's
a
what I'm
learned
saying.
behavior.
Nah, I get what you're saying.
Like, let's
And
go
once
back to
it's
higher
learned,
learning.
yeah.
Let's go back to higher learning. Let's go back to Remy. Higher
Right.
learning. I'm so happy that he
was a
embraced
blank.
the
He had a blank
culture
slate when
now,
he came in.
But overall, we used to think growing up, after that movie, he was a fucking racist. And he came in, it's like, hey, man, I just want to be involved with something.
But that shit ain't okay because
It's
ain't.
not.
because
But however, we need the, like this thought process need to be addressed to white people.
yeah, but
What if you guys have a mental illness because y'all think
Nah.
racism is
Man, come on, bro.
I mean,
Just
like,
saying. Put the stereotype on them
no,
motherfuckers.
I think that
Hey,
Remy shit is like some
Being
one-off.
racist is a mental illness to white
Bro,
people.
chill out,
hell
man.
no.
Man, fuck that, bro.
That I think that Remy shit is like some one-off type of shit. Most racism is taught, bro.
that's
Like,
how I feel.
yeah, it's like you say, it's trained.
Man.
Like
It's trained.
it's there is no okay. One day I
Add
full
milk,
with all
add
racism.
alcohol.
One day,
Nah,
man.
It's
But
a
it-
mental
it
I'm
illness.
ain't-
gonna say, like, bro, again, I grew up in a cocoon. We could call it that, a cocoon.
Right.
I'm 9% black. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really have white experiences. But if I heard negativity on the white race, it was because it was somebody in my ear, Peckerwood, something, saying some shit like that.
Right.
But I didn't have that experience with him to have that. Now on the flip, a white man grew up in a lower income white area, and he don't even know 5 niggas to hate him.
Yeah.
But it's somebody telling him in his ear, hate niggas.
Hate these motherfuckers.
But it's the way that
and
they
for
tell
what reason?
It's the way that they tell them though, because they giving it to you in their religion, in their sense of pride, and their sense of self. You know what I'm saying?
Embedding it.
That's how you make yourself feel better when you a broke white dude in a trailer park who ain't got shit going on.
That's what you
you like. You look over and say,
still not black.
I'm better than that motherfucker over there. You know, and they give you a sense of pride, and you can look in yourself in the mirror and feel good.
Because I've seen I've heard black people do that towards Hispanics.
Yeah,
man.
Like, I look at that wetback and I'm like, wait, hold up, man. Like,
I get it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, at the end of the day, man.
And they think like Kenny think about, and they continue to think like that over years. Like you can leave that person 5 years later, and they still thinking about that.
Right.
Like they still feel that way, and we like, it's just how they think. So if that's how they think, that goes to their brain. So if they brain, and we thinking like, man,
he's
you
still
should
trying to
think
solve
like
his
that.
mental case.
Man,
And what
I was trying to follow him, bro.
Knowledge, I can't ride with you on that one.
I don't want y'all. I don't want
That
y'all
shit is
to,
taught.
but it may need to be examined.
No.
It may be a mental illness.
We're not giving them
is
that
taught,
out.
bro.
And a lot of this shit is really
giving them that out, bro.
It's racism. Racism is really some stupid shit.
Yeah.
It is. I totally agree.
I mean, I think us killing each other, that shit ain't no mental shit. That shit is taught. We've been taught. We've been taught to hate each other.
We've been trained.
We talking about
We've been
hold on,
trained.
bro. Hold on.
No, I'm not talking about all aspects.
We going to it.
Nah, hold on, bro.
Let's put it. Let's be going too many lanes. So first of all, because I feel like we jumping over. So Flip, what you about to say?
He was saying that we talking about us killing each other. Man, races kill the most of their race.
Yeah.
That's any race.
I hate it. That's what I'm saying.
White people kill white people. Asians kill Asians.
That's why
you gonna kill the motherfucker.
You kill who you live.
Yeah, live by.
I didn't say black on black crime. I said us because I hate when people say black on black crime. I hate that shit. But when I'm saying us, when you say racism, it's mental. To me, that's not mental. That shit is taught. Just like I said, when we're in our own community, Mexicans in their own community, like you say, where you live around, you're not.
And Dunny, what I think is
that's
the
mental
first
shit you taught to do.
Listen, I'm not negating what you're saying. I just think that that's just a first step of creating mental illness on a subject.
Why do you want to create mental illness though?
They don't know they creating it. They don't know that they don't know.
You're trying to start
like
the narrative.
mental illness is something that is developed over time.
I can't let that be the reason. Because if it's one thing, mental illness is somebody that don't know no better. You know better.
You know right from wrong.
You know right from wrong.
Absolutely.
Man, look, man, I'm gonna be real with you. We done seen people over time. We look at somebody and think, all right, he all right now. But have you examined him over 5, over 10, over 20 years? And over time, things like your brain is like a muscle, man. You really, it's so many things that goes into that because your brain is steady feeding shit.
That's pretty much everything that you. Anything that you do habitually, then that's the case. Then you have a mental illness issue.
I totally agree.
That's not how.
Like we talk about drug addiction. So
that means if you love computers and I love IT and I spend 12 hours a day looking at IT perspectives and all of this, but the thing is that's an out. That's a very millennial perspective on things.
No.
You gonna let me talk?
I see what you're going at. But what I'm saying is, I was in San Jose and I saw homeless people.
Knowledge, are you gonna let me talk?
Go right ahead.
Damn, like all I'm trying to say is this, man. You're pushing the narrative that they've been trying to push on kids who have behavior.
I mean,
it's an excuse.
I'm pushing my opinion, but you won't let me speak on it. All I'm saying is this: is like when you try to push the narrative that it's a mental aspect, that's an excuse. That's at the end of the day, you're excusing the behavior on paper. That's what's a mental behavior. That's when you are diagnosed with a mental behavior. You are excused. You are looked at differently in the eyes of the law. It's perspectives. So you take away the hate aspect of it and the emotional aspect of it when you try to drive it towards a mental health issue. Because at the end of the day, that's an excused behavior. You have people that have literally been able to get out of jail because of mental drawback.
Right. I agree.
And so at the end of the day, you are excusing the behavior once you start starting a narrative that it's a mental aspect because now I got to get out of jail free card because I'm mentally incapable of loving black people.
I'm gonna say this: the dude.
And I'm only mentally incapable of one race.
Right.
So when you start that narrative, you have the George Zimmerman situations a lot.
Or like the Dylan Roof shit. Do you think he suffered from mental illness when he planned to go into that church and kill niggas that day? That was a well thought out execution. So for me to say he suffers from mental illness, I think that's a reach. That motherfucker wanted to kill niggas.
This nigga had enough content.
I put it like this: it's a certain type of programming that everybody go through. You know, just going through society. If you live in Russia, you're gonna see a certain type of propaganda. If you live in America, you're gonna see a certain type of propaganda.
Right.
Like right now, if you live in America, you look at people in Iran or something like that, you're gonna be like, oh, he a terrorist, he this, he that, he this. Well, white people grow up thinking the same way about black people, you know, thinking that way. It's a program, right? So everybody gonna take this program different. So if you mentally sane, you can be like, he's saying that shit, but he only saying that shit because that's how he getting over or whatever, see whatever reason behind it. If your ass got a mental disorder, and then on top of that, people telling you these certain things, now that might lead to you going shooting up a church or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a combination of things that make these things happen. Man, but we gotta recognize that it's crazy motherfuckers out here all the time, and they receive this same shit you seeing, and they might not have the same resolve to like settle that shit and not shoot up a motherfucking school one day.
I mean, if you go shoot up a church, even if it's racist, you gotta hold on.
I'm gonna say this right now. Y'all ain't getting the picture. They quick to stereotype us on some shit. Nigga, let's put something on them. Nigga, racism is a mental illness.
That's not a stereotype.
Let me say this.
That hurts them.
Mental illness is not reserved for white neo-nationalists. You know what I'm saying?
We need to.
But
every race has mental illness.
We got mental illness in the black community.
But put racism on them, though.
But let me say this.
It's a mental illness.
We can put racism on them, but if we have mental illness in the black community, why the fuck we ain't going up in white churches airing it out? You know what I'm saying? That's hate.
Tell me
why is that not our target? Just a white church.
Why does that never happen?
Hey, because we
never go on Wall Street and clear that bitch up?
We got like a mild mental illness.
Nah, man, fuck
that. Nah, nigga, he on that fucking tequila. Nah,
fuck that. We ain't doing that shit.
That shit is not no mental illness. Racism is not a mental illness,
My thing is, I just feel that I just don't feel how you can wake up in the morning, white people, and y'all just hate black people.
You giving them too much credit.
Yeah.
No doubt.
You taught that shit, Marcus.
Bro.
You taught hate.
Oh, man.
Hate is not something that you born with.
Bro, you honestly believe, dog, it's like a nigga who literally like been listening
They need to check their mental. If they just hate a color, that's it.
My man go down the hill, bro.
Hey, Kenny, hold on, Kenny. And it's going to be my last one. We all come from somewhere where we know that one motherfucker that we grew up with, he throwed out.
Ain't quite right.
He throwed out.
Right.
So it don't matter if you white, purple, blue, right. When he snap,
right,
he gonna snap. But he ain't finna just walk to this throwed off motherfucker ain't finna be like, oh, you know what? I ain't gonna snap on you. I ain't gonna snap on you. Oh shit, I'm finna go snap on you because you look this way. No, bro.
Yeah.
Racism is not a mental illness. And that shit is taught.
I think it's also disrespectful to people that suffer from real mental illness to just place that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because again, like I was just saying before you cut me off, Dylan Root, he's a racist, but now you do have to have some shit going on in your head to go in there and just kill people.
Yeah.
Now you's a racist, but I mean you still kind of throw it off.
Exactly. So,
but that's racism and mental illness.
But what's up with the dude that pretty much don't want me in his club? Does he have a mental disorder?
No,
he just don't want you in his club because you black and you don't belong here.
Or when they tell us that they pretty much give us the hip hop black dress code is what we don't allow.
It's the nigga
is that
uniform.
A mental health?
Right.
No, that is not a mental health issue. You don't want to fuck with me.
Before we get out of here.
But you playing Drake.
No. So I just wanted to get off the topic because we have been on it for an extended period of time.
I was about to before we get out of here. Speaking of mental health, I got a 23-year-old daughter.
So yeah, exactly.
And
so
I have never went to one of her OBGYN appointments and said, "Doctor, please let me know if my daughter's still a virgin."
Damn.
Y'all know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, let's get into it.
I'm a trend.
Man, T.I., come to the pulpit, man.
We got to have a word with you.
First of all, some shit don't need to be said.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's really the first thing.
That's the first thing we need to say is.
Like, nigga, some shit you just, it's a such thing as overshare.
Need to be said.
Because then you allow people to add their own context to the situation.
And then you allow people to judge your parenting style.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because that's where, like, motherfuckers, some people be like, oh, he's a parent. Y'all to be glad he's in his daughter's life. And other people like, nigga, you out of line, Tip.
We ain't need to know that.
If my daughter fucking, bro, she fucking, man. You know, like.
She 18, so she could have told the doctor, tell my daddy get his ass out of here.
And then, you know, bro, just keeping it real, bro, you probably going to scar her more trying to put her in a box
100.
than just allow her to have her own experience.
I got a 23-year-old daughter.
And
that's
you know
the
what?
wrong
Out of all the
thing to do, brother.
that was the only thing that I didn't give a damn about the backlash of it came to T.I. I hope, like, and it's crazy because, and I know, you know, you got a wife. My wife is a daddy's girl. And we sitting there, I said, if Deja know what's right, she ain't talking to T.I. for probably another week. She finna break this nigga. She finna break T.I. She finna like he know it.
She was liking shit on Twitter that he said that pretty much going against everything he was doing. I feel like at the end of the day,
you follow her?
No, it was on like blog.
No. To see that, I had to ask that question to see how did you see that because. No. Let me. No.
I mean, that's still young as shit, but
let me say that because T.I., if you watch all of his shows, he's been overprotective of Deja for forever.
And you supposed to be. I got a daughter. I got 2 daughters. You supposed to. No.
I agree. No,
but no, listen to what I'm saying,
man. What I'm saying is, when I say that, like, I made it like Tip put this intimidation, like, you shouldn't do that. So when you you follow her, how would you? I was like, how did you even get her notification?
Oh, it was a blog site had pretty much said that she was liking a bunch of like retweets and retweeting stuff.
But my point is, she finna piss her daddy off where he gonna have to level set to understand where she is now. That's all.
What you mean? How you gonna piss her off?
That was embarrassing.
He was saying she was gonna be hurt that she ain't talking. But I honestly don't feel like that's gonna be what it is because T.I. is one of the most thick-headed people, stubborn people, and that's what make him him. You know, maybe he might have a soft spot for his daughter, but I
got 2 daughters, man.
I can't see myself,
it's
honestly, because all of us in this room have snuck off with somebody's daughter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Had them lying to their parents to come and see us in some way, shape, or form. Right?
And T.I.
So how does that make you feel if you got a daughter?
Shit.
So just imagine how you feel because I got 2 daughters and 1 23.
Really, I feel like it's conviction.
So it's
it's conviction when you.
Hell yeah.
It's like when you a dude that had these experiences and you know how you were. It's the conviction that you had, and you try to keep your daughter. You can't keep your daughter from experiencing niggas like you.
I'm gonna say this, fam. Like,
you really can't.
Like on some real shit, bro. Like allow your daughter to experience life, and then also understand that you raised her a certain way. So lean on the way you raised her. You can't put on chains, bro, because we done all been places. And we didn't all experience the sheltered girl. And we know how the sheltered girl sometimes responds.
Nigga.
That's not good. Don't.
Bro.
Yeah, bro. Fuck
and girls are way more smarter than we are.
Yeah.
They think before they do shit. The majority of them do at that age. Boys, when we was 18, nigga, we wasn't. Nigga, do you remember 18?
I remember 18.
18, you finna fuck damn near everything moving. Long as you got a rubber, nigga, if it get wet, come here.
18 was just lawless, bro.
Exactly.
It's just
when you're 18, it's like, I don't give a shit. But as girls, as a dad, and I don't like to compare girls to dogs, but if you take a dog and you put him on the chain, no, really, real talk.
I don't like to compare girls to dogs either.
but I'm just saying, if you take a dog and you put him on the chain, and you keep this dog on the chain all the fucking time, soon as you take that dog off the chain and open up that gate, guess what that dog gonna do? That motherfucker gonna run out that gate and he might not come back for 3 days. Yeah. He gonna come back, but you can't put that on your daughter and just keep her fucking sheltered and keep. Cause soon as she get that freedom, shit.
Man, we've all seen that chick in college.
Yeah.
We all knew.
Antoine, you know.
We
I
all
try
knew
not
that
to
shit.
say it
You
because
already know.
we not toxic male niggas in here.
No,
We
we're
all
not.
seen it.
And really, we're not. But
It
but
wasn't
we
even a
were
personal
young.
experience.
We were young.
But we
before.
all
Nigga,
seen
shut
that
up.
chick get to college.
And niggas
No,
don't want no personal
because
experience.
I've had it to where it's somebody that I knew, like that I
Okay.
grew up with,
Okay.
and I saw her experience.
And, yeah.
And I've seen it, you know, like it's not even a one-off experience of just me.
right.
Like I've seen the chick who mom and dad didn't let them do shit, and you hear about her, then this, that, and that,
Yeah.
and before you know it, she got a reputation she can't shake.
She got to experience life, bro. I
She the
mean,
one who came to the party, nigga. You know the one who never got out.
Yeah, like,
And as soon as she got a little, okay, girl, you can go to the party. She was the wildest motherfucker in that party
See,
for 2 hours.
that's why you can't put them on a box,
You
bro.
can't, man.
You gotta
You
let
can't
them
do
live
that.
their life.
And,
You know, women have the right to make choices for their own
For their
body.
own body,
You know what I'm
brother.
they
saying?
do,
Yeah.
but
Oh, here you go.
You what?
You finna say some shit?
You got a daughter, nigga.
man, no, like I can listen. I can see myself as Tip until I do something stupid, and he did something stupid. And I'm telling you,
What do you
Deja-
do stupid?
Listen, his
Talked.
daughter finna check
Talked.
him. His daughter finna check him on this. Like,
Nah, she
like,
ain't gonna
this-
check
I mean,
you.
Like,
I'll say
like,
this.
like he been roll. He listen. Tip been thinking and the shit. Listen, she done sat back and she probably felt that everything he was doing was wrong in her eyes. And she couldn't
she ain't had no
power.
voice to
She
back
ain't had no voice.
Man,
and now
that's what you
Nigga,
feel.
she's still getting
You
spoiled
think T.I.
right
give a
now.
fuck about the internet?
She ain't
You know,
finna fuck that
I
money
don't
up.
give
No,
a
no.
fuck.
I don't think the baby. I really don't think this girl give a fuck about it too much. She been living with the nigga 18 years.
She know how
Listen,
that is.
Listen, she know.
This a
She
regular
know.
thing with her.
All of it. I
This
think,
regular shit with her.
But she has leverage now if she don't want
What
to.
kind of
You
leverage
try
she
to
got
leverage
right
if you
now?
want to,
Like,
man.
I'm
T.I.
about to say, what
takes
kind of
me as an
leverage,
old
like-
school parent.
Wait,
Like,
what kind of leverage she got?
like
T.I. takes me as an
shit,
old
if she
school
wanted-
black
if she
parent. Like,
wanted
leverage your
that- hey, she want
motherfucker.
that
I'm about to say,
If
what
she
a
want that
leverage
Lamborghini SUV, if she
Yeah.
wanted this,
She gonna keep letting them go into her goddamn OBGYN
I'm gonna also say
apartment.
this, bro. If she trying to get a nut, bro, the last thing she gonna do is be worried about her daddy.
I don't even think.
Absolutely.
But listen,
She gonna go for what she want to go
Just
for
think
because
about
she
it.
still feels like you can't. First of all, you cannot tell if somebody's sexually active by the hymen.
Thank you.
Thank
So you can get all the damn
She can ride a
feedback.
motorcycle and break
Like
that
literally,
motherfucker.
like shit. It's you never gonna know. So you sound dumb. First of all, thinking we gonna check the hymen. So you sound uneducated
Yeah, right.
about a perspective that you trying to control. So that's already putting a hole in your argument of trying to control the narrative.
Yeah.
Right.
Second of all, nigga, you move around a lot as an entertainer.
As a married nigga, tell the truth.
Tell the truth,
T.I.
damn.
ass ain't the most
This is
solid.
unspoken conversation,
he ain't
goddammit.
silent like that, bro.
Hell
So
no.
you can't really.
How many
But that's
times he
the
been caught?
conviction. That's the conviction of a nigga who know he ain't shit. Hey, anytime a nigga know he ain't shit, he the most protective nigga of all the women that he loves.
The most
You
jealous,
notice the most ain't shit niggas the ones that love their mama the most.
hey, the most jealous nigga is a cheating nigga.
Like I wish you would.
Baby, where
take
you going,
that nigga.
goddammit?
Don't accept no gas from that nigga.
Oh, my nigga insecure. No, he ain't. That nigga cheating. Yeah,
That nigga trying to make sure you ain't doing the shit he doing.
Man,
Exactly.
Kenny, man, we've been on all this, man. We've been all this, and we got to get out of here in a second. Man, I gotta ask this question, man, and I like real talk. If they ain't crowned you yet, you are the ambassador of Oak Cliff.
I appreciate
You really,
that.
real talk.
Yeah, yeah.
You real talk the ambassador of the culture for Dallas. I don't give a fuck. Like if they ain't fucking with Kenny, they ain't really fucking with the culture.
I appreciate it.
Man, if you had to see Oak Cliff to its finest, where you want to see it? Like I done really, cause I done moved south now,
Mhm.
and I ride through Oak Cliff. I mean, I go to Oak Cliff Bibles,
Right.
Pastor Evans.
That's a great church.
And listen,
Great church.
great church, like good dude. Where do you see it? Like, what in your vision, where you can go peace and you live intangibly, but your flesh is gone? Where you want to see it?
To me, to be quite honest, I like to see more families like us moving back to Oak Cliff. I know a lot of people, decide to live certain places. I don't want people to really run to where the white folks deem as the nice place to live. It's plenty of beautiful things and beautiful places to live in Oak Cliff. I actually want to see more black middle class in Oak Cliff because the white middle class doesn't have a problem moving to Oak Cliff.
Yeah.
Right.
So that should be the sign, the telltale sign that we should take our neighborhoods back. I also want to see more black ownership. We kind of talked earlier. I don't know if it was before we got on wax or not, But a lot of times when people are owning things in our
Yeah, you
neighborhoods,
made that point in knowledge.
yeah, it's Indians and it's Asians. I like to see more black ownership. I think that it's very doable. I think it's very possible. I just think that people kind of got to get it. And also, it don't have to be Oak Cliff. To be quite honest, it can be wherever corner of the city that you deem as your black corner. Go do that. If you from South Dallas, move back to South Dallas and make South Dallas dope. If you from Pleasant
You just
Grove,
said something, black corner.
you know what I'm saying?
I need that.
I think honestly though, and like I'm glad that you added that because I feel like we just got to make it cool to move back home.
Exactly.
Because you know how everybody, when you growing up, to feel like you done made it, you got to move to the suburbs.
Yeah.
Right.
If you live around white folks, you feel, like you know how they be like, man. Because I ain't gonna lie, and I know that's ingrained in us because when I was looking at apartments, I had looked in Bishop Arts area.
Right.
And so I look out, and so I walk out. I remember the scenario. I fell in love with the size of the patio. I'm like, man, I could throw a damn day party down there on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked across and I saw the hood.
Right.
And I was like, I can't justify paying this if I see that.
Right.
And that's like an ingrained thing because it's like we don't have the middle class there. And that's why that's the importance of the middle class. Because I feel like it would become deemed acceptable that I'm standing around my peers versus me having to just stay in my neighborhood because I'm trying to stay solid. Because a lot of people want to stay amongst like-minded people.
Right.
So you got to make it cool for the black middle class to actually move back and make these places actually, because you spoke about that in earlier knowledge about the liquor store or just making some place or having places of substance actually move to our neighborhoods where it's like you can have things that are pushed forward. Like I remember we was talking earlier today. You say you like Turkish food.
Yeah, like
it's like why do you have to go in everything that's outside of the norm? Why do we have to go to a white neighborhood or a white establishment because a juice bar or things of that nature?
All right, let's say this: if you're gonna gentrify a neighborhood that's poor, bring it in there. Bring your culture in there. If they don't like it, leave. But don't come in there to be another culture, giving something that the culture already have, like AKA a liquor store. Like you in there, and I'm white. And I own a liquor store in a black neighborhood, I'm just being a capitalist. We need to be aware of that as a city, as a public servant, as a city official. And we need to be aware of that and be like, hey, yeah, you here, but what are you doing for the community? Like, where's that money that you got that you receiving from this liquor store? Is this going back into
accountability?
Yeah, accountability.
See, but I would keep it real. I don't have a problem with the liquor store being a community because shit.
I don't either.
We in this motherfucker, everybody on something right now.
Yeah.
But to your point, black-owned liquor store. Somebody from this community opened up the liquor store.
Right.
Kenny, I'm in Arkansas. You know how many times I asked black people to get it? You know what they hover street? Man, they told me I need $30,000 to get a license.
Mm-hmm.
The Asian community is there provide that 30,000 amongst each other.
Listen,
and you
we'll
get on,
pop
then
up,
you get on.
and you see Asian or you see Indians, and they scratching their head like, man, I had this dream. Why it didn't happen to me? And they be like, we all looking like we don't know. Instead of trying to figure out, like, let's put our arms together and figure out, brother, you want this liquor store?
Right.
And make it. But you know what? We go into the prayer lines and be like, we don't need this another liquor store in the community. Man, we can't.
It's gonna be there.
We can't avoid the behavior.
Might as well own it.
We might as well. We still live in a capitalist economy.
The gas stations we don't own no.
We need everything
Better way.
that they put in our neighborhoods for ourselves.
Yes.
That's how I see it.
Yes.
And that's for Oak Cliff, that's for South Dallas, that's for Pleasant Grove, that's for East Dallas, for West Dallas, that's for South Central LA. Wherever the fuck you from, bro, I would encourage you to sweep your own little corner of the earth and come back to where you from.
Right. Because we in a capitalist country, motherfuckers. We got
might as well
prisons.
capitalize.
We need to get all this money.
But
all of it.
Everybody not capitalistic in nature. So even if that's buying a residential property in the neighborhood, that also helps strengthen that neighborhood.
Right.
Exactly.
Because if a young black family,
we maintaining it. You know what I'm
maintain
saying?
and keep up with it, because that's the biggest thing. Me and my wife, we moved to the neighborhood a year ago, and it's nothing but old women and older men, and it's a lot of people that's the grandmothers who inherited a house and things like that. But when they saw us move in, that whole street put their arms around us, because it was like, we saw white people was trying to move in here. We saw a Hispanic community trying to move in here. this neighborhood is thriving, it's good to see young black people move back to where they are. And then another thing about gentrification, there's value in it. I mean, what these people are doing is they're dropping property taxes south, right? So Red Oak, Waxahachie, and things like that, the property value is real cheap. So you, as black man and your black family, y'all can move south.
Because you can afford it.
You can afford it. But then them that's over there is coming back in and buying up where you would have moved.
They price you out.
Price you out. Yep. And now the inner city in the surrounding areas that surrounds this beautiful ass downtown Dallas no longer belongs to you, right? So protect your corner, protect where you from, and if you're not from here, find a place that you want to live and contribute to that community.
Basically, this is the reverse of white flight. You remember? Right. You know, white flight took place back in the 60s and the 70s.
Right.
And it's like, no, we want that again. You know what I mean? It's like we tired of building out. You know, we want them, you know, the new millennial wants to live urban. But Kenny, before we get out of here, first of all, appreciate you pulling up.
No doubt.
Man, what you working on? What's on the horizon, man? What you got in plan for the culture and for Dallas and just for, you know, overall?
Man, so to be quite honest, bro, I took a month off. The wedding and the pressure, everything that was coming, bro.
I can understand, bro.
Financial investments, bro. I took a month off to kind of breathe and relax and get through the wedding. But this week, nigga hit the ground running. I did a panel discussion this past
that
Wednesday.
100, man. That, anytime I see you pull up on that, man, bro, that's great.
Yeah, bro.
Like we need to see that.
100%. And then the next thing, I sat down with y'all before I even opened up my own podcast again.
That's what's up. Appreciate that.
I haven't recorded in a month, bro. so I came to fuck with y'all before I even started recording.
Had to warm the vocals back up again.
Nah, but I had a great ass time. The podcast is on its way back. We dropping this Monday. I don't want to, you know, take over the shit, but we got a podcast coming Monday. We got a new event since I've been with y'all. It's every Sunday now at Bar Stella.
Okay.
Which is called Good Day. Today was a good day. DJ Nightcrawler, DJ Swerver, DJ Swaver. And me MCing that bitch, and just positivity, bro. There's a lot of different projects that's coming. The merch is coming. That's probably gonna drop Black Friday. The Good Culture clothing line is on its way.
Okay.
So it's a lot of positivity right now, bro. I'm just gonna leave y'all with fuck with me. I'm at the Kenny Reeves everywhere. I follow back. I'm about positivity. I'm about Oak Cliff. I'm about the community, and I'm about the culture.
Already, man. So before we get out of here, anybody got any parting shots, anything they want to put, you know, add to the universe, or just anything, man? What y'all want?
Hey, man, you gonna let my boy Antoine pull up on the podcast with y'all?
That's my name.
Why you?
Y'all all can pull up.
Honestly, bro.
Let me stop real quick. I'm sorry.
Look, I fuck with you. You know how we fuck with it. I have an idea. Hey, no.
Shout out to Avion Tequila.
No. My nigga Antoine, I think
he just
like
talking,
on some of y'all content.
Yeah.
Cause he ain't asked for himself. I fucks with you for that.
But
cause me and my nigga, hey, when I hit Kenny, I know how to hit Kenny.
Yeah.
I don't need the, but my nigga got a good voice. My nigga 100.
I'm gonna say this,
truck, bro.
Any one of you niggas who want to pull up to the podcast,
I told you when you get the sports shit, I got Flim right here.
Talk, man, goddamn.
I hope don't nobody in this bitch feel like they not welcome on my show.
Nah, man, we know it's love, man. We know it's love. We know it's
y'all niggas is welcome on my show.
He feeling good tonight.
Kenny, you know, I fuck with you. I fuck with you. I don't need to be on the podcast.
My niggas so embarrassed, Torn.
You embarrassed, bro.
You know what?
I don't know why.
That nigga put Torn on the spotlight.
You gonna let the nigga come, bro? I'm like,
I'm gonna tell you this. You ask me a question. I'm gonna tell you this, man, bro. Real talk, and I really don't, man. I real talk. I got the first promotion I ever got in my life this week.
Okay, congratulations, bro.
I grew up, but now real talk. I grew up that if I would have said something like this, it's been like, oh, this nigga just trying to high side and brag. But I've learned, and I got people in my corner and grew that people be like, it ain't about bragging. It's like, nigga, it's supposed to happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Put that blessing on the next man. Like, you want to see that next man grow.
Right.
So I'm not sitting here saying this. I listen to Good Culture.
Absolutely.
I listen to it, and I be like, I'm texting him, and this nigga is a fan. And this nigga, not that's a fan, but he's a curator of
what the fuck are you talking about right now?
No, listen.
I told him, like, bro, like
so I just want like my nigga.
Torn is all right. I'm since that happened, bro.
You know the nigga put that jacket. That nigga say, "Fuck."
Since that happened, I'm gonna speak my piece on the nigga to my right, bro. Torn is one of the most solid dudes in the city, bro. I gave him some very brief information, like, hey, bro, if you want to get involved, come to Forest Cliff. We meet every Monday in Glendale for a meeting at Forest Cliff. I walk in, Torn is there before me. That's probably some of the most admirable shit, because this nigga ain't from here.
Appreciate you, man.
From 4 hours down the street. He don't have to come and fuck around in the city.
Already.
Come to the events. I see him around the city, and this is one of the platforms that I don't feel like a guest on this motherfucker.
I told you earlier. What I just say earlier, you ain't no guest no more, nigga. You family.
I feel like home. So in the same way that I'm not a guest here, bro.
No doubt.
On our platform, none of y'all niggas is guests. So it ain't even a question of asking me. You know what I'm saying? It's, hey, bro, when you want to pull up. That's what it is.
Man.
And that's what that is.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. Boy, the boy can't show love every time out, man. So it is what it is. I ain't gonna lie. First of all, I just support anybody who's, first of all, pushing the culture forward. Second of all, like, and I told you, I gave you flowers. I was like, you was the first person I knew that had a podcast. Meaning, like, you know, because we thought podcasts was something that celebrities had. And then when you find somebody, that nigga, like, he one of us. You know, he got a I didn't even know, because that was about 3.5 years ago. I didn't even know podcasts really existed. You know what I'm saying? Somebody put me on you. And so I say all that to say, I always feel like we should give people their flowers while they can.
While they here,
you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people jump on the bandwagon. So a lot of people that's pretty much pushing anything forward, like, boy Flim was exposed me a lot to tech, man. Like, he just, I remember, you know, I had to learn SQL, you know, and he was willing to meet me at
SQL is hard, bro.
Man. And I remember he met me at Cheesecake Factory, bro. Me and Flim hadn't really I met him through Marcus, so it wasn't like he just knew me, but he fucked with me. So it's all about basically helping the next man.
Like, literally taught me. He was like, he analyzed everything I had, said, you need to go front end development. I was like, what you mean? He like, you'll learn it. Yeah, like, trust me. And so
it's basically letting the next man and your next brother, man, elevate.
It's funny
with
how
that
you
push,
meet people,
man. Yeah, bro. I met him in my job. He was my OG at my first job out of school, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's real love, man. So I ain't gonna lie, man. I just appreciate the congregation of just black men just on one platform. You know, we don't see it enough, man.
Absolutely.
So before we get out of here, man, we just want to thank the listeners for still rocking with us, man. You know, because I feel like, you know, anybody that supports you that doesn't have to, man, first of all, that's a win. So just walking with us, dealing with our bullshit, dealing with us, you know, we appreciate it, man. We're going to keep trying to build. You know, we're going to give y'all a little break for the 2019 and so we can go into 2020 strong. But just keep rocking with us, man. K Reeves, again, thank you for pulling up.
No doubt, bro.
Yes, sir.
Boy, Knowledge, man. Shout out.
Already. Hey,
shout out to Avion Tequila.
Listen. I ain't gonna leave, nigga. Like, hey, shout out to 1911. Man. Shout out to 1911.
I'm glad to see my nigga in rare form.
January.
What we going out on, Spider?
Oh, we got some old school shit here.
All right.
Oh shit!
Okay.
What's going on?
Rest in peace, Prodigy.
Yeah,
let's go.
Man, this Antoine the Source.
DJ D-Boy Fresh the
man, it's knowledge, man. Keep achieving, man. Keep achieving.
Man, this Unspoken Conversation. We out of here.
Peace and love.